everyone, welcome to Cat Sports, and I'm doing something we don't really typically do on this channel. Talk about basketball. Um, I'm not really much of a basketball person, so going into the Pistons. Obviously, I might do a March Madness video this week too, just kind of get into that. But I'm kind of focusing on the Pistons because with how Detroit sports has been going, it's kind of been a resurgence from them from last year. They've more than doubled their win total. They're currently sitting in a playoff spot, probably are going to make the playoffs. Right now, they're a game back of the fourth seed, and currently will be playing the Knicks in the playoffs, which I think would be a good series from the little basketball that I know and have watched. And they are very, very far ahead of being kicked out of the playoffs. They have an 8.5 game lead on the Miami Heat, but even more so if they were to completely get kicked out of the playoffs. Toronto is 33 games back compared to their 19, so that's about 13, 14 games right there. And there's not a lot left hanging on the season either. With what is left, they have a total. I think they might even would clinch it fairly soon. A playoff spot. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a total of 13 games left, so pretty much they're in the playoffs. Whether they have a home series or not is just still up in the air. But they've done great so far this year. Their coach has been fantastic. Kind of helped with the turnaround. The whole organization has done very well turning around, and they played well. Even their losses to some of the really good teams, um, have been good. The recent Thunder game, I know Kate Cunningham got uh ejected after 2 fouls. Uh, kind of questionable calls from what I know. Again, not much of a basketball person. Um, I've watched maybe like I'll be honest, I've watched maybe about 5, 6 games this year, but I've kept up with them, seen how they've been playing, see how they've been winning. They've gone on win streaks. And honestly, they might host a playoff game before the Red Wings do. If somehow the Red Wings can make the playoffs, they have all 4 teams in the same span of a year have playoff games, which would be pretty cool in itself. That's the first time it would happen in Detroit sports history. And you have multiple playoff series going on inside Little Caesars Arena. And it's good to see basketball coming around, looking good again. I know we missed out on a WNBA team this year in the expansion. I know the Pistons owner was trying to bring them in. But again, the Pistons have been playing well. It's exciting to watch. Like I said, I've watched games here and there mostly, but I've been at work kind of paying attention to them. But not completely know what's going on. Again, for the fourth, fifth time, not a basketball person, but uh, they have been doing a lot better, and it's good to see. Because sports in this town drives a lot of the economy and whatnot, and it helps. And again, they've been playing well. Right now, they're sitting at a 38-31 record, which again, pretty close to other teams. They have 30 tied with 38 wins between the Bucks and the Pacers, and they're 19 games back of Cleveland in the division, which again, not really worried about that. Cleveland's been a very hot team, and you had close games against Cleveland. I think if they have a series against anybody in this first round, they could win. Outside the playing games, even the playing games. But I think between the Knicks, Bucks, and Pacers, you could win that series and get yourself into a second round series against who knows? Maybe you get lucky, you win the series, and then a couple of playing teams when you don't face someone who's as good. But we'll see. We'll very much see what ends up happening. When it comes to the Pistons, I'll keep my eye on them. I don't know how much of basketball videos I will do doing forward. I might do a playoff video, obviously, if they make the playoffs. I don't know about one before then, but they've been doing very, very well. I don't know much to talk about when it comes to this stuff. I know Kate Cunningham, he's done very well. I know Jaden Ivey, he broke his leg earlier this year, and it might have even helped the team more if he was on the team. Duran has been doing good. Um, but for the most part, I'm not that big of a basketball guy. I might dive deep more into watching basketball if videos do well, obviously. But I just felt they needed a little bit of love. They haven't been talked about a lot. They've been playing very well. Tom Gores, even though he sucked as an owner and is still kind of iffy, at least the team is turning around. And he's kind of investing in the team a little bit. We'll see what ends up happening, how Kate Cunningham's situation works with his contract. I know his contract is coming up relatively soon, and might be due for a max deal, but we'll see. I think he will be due for a max deal. We'll see how that goes and kind of how they build this roster. Again, not as familiar. I know Cunningham has done well this year. Ivy is going to be a big part. Beasley has played well. Tobias Harris, Duran, Hardaway. I know all of them. Basically, your main stars I have an idea of because I've been kind of paying attention to them more. Before I was paying attention to them, knew almost nobody besides Cade Cunningham. Um, but again, they've been playing pretty well. They are going to be in a playoff situation, which is great. It's good to have it back from last year because again, last year that sucked. I mean, I almost did videos last year on just because of how bad they were playing. But again, I feel they're due their flowers. Maybe get at least one video of attention on this channel because again, we're not basketball people. Me and my dad don't really watch basketball that much. The most we watch basketball is usually around this time of the year when it is March Madness time. But outside of that, Pistons, I haven't watched the Pistons game outside of this year at all because again, not much of a basketball fan. But they've been doing well. Hopefully, they can keep it up, keep this going, momentum going, and it builds a good amount around the city when the teams are doing well. Does feel good about the Tigers coming up. You know, the Wings, they're pushing for the playoff spot. They're very close. We'll see if they can make it in. And, you know, the Lions, how they've been playing the past couple of years, really builds on just the momentum of the city in itself. And they're playing well. And again, I couldn't be happier for the Pistons playing this well because, again, you want success no matter what the team is, and they're playing very well. And looking forward for them, I see a very, very favorable schedule. They're going to play the Heat. They should beat the Heat. I think they can beat the Mavs no problem, even though they're on the road. They beat the Pelicans. They can beat the Spurs. You can go on a little win streak right here and potentially be a higher seed. Honestly, I think I would kind of want to play the Knicks because I think that would just be fun to have that little bigger city well, I guess not bigger city without Detroit, but you know the city rivalries. Then you can have the more regional with Milwaukee and Indiana, or when we play Indiana. I think those would be fun series to watch because maybe spark some old rivalries with Indiana if we play them in the playoffs. But again, they've been doing well. I couldn't be happier that they are doing well. But they're not really playing anyone that difficult for the next few games. Then they're going to play the Cavs, which again number one, but you've been playing them pretty well this year from what I've seen. Timberwolves, they're a good team. See how you play against them when they come around. And then your month of April, you play the Thunder, but then you get a little break with the Raptors for a game, and then you're going to play the Grizzlies, which I did not know they were as good as they are, but they're playing pretty good this year. Kings, which are about 500, you probably could beat them at home, and then you could get a little playoff preview. There's a chance you end up playing the Bucks in the playoffs, and you end the year playing back-to-back games against them. So you can almost technically play them for 9 straight games, depending on how this turns out, which would be pretty interesting to see because you already know those first 2 games are going to be hot if they're destined to play each other in the playoffs. And then you go play a 9-game series, a 7-game series potentially on top of that. That might be a very interesting thing. And again, if you believe sports leagues are rigged, that could be a precursor right there that they might just be destined to play the Bucks in the playoffs. I don't think that much with the NBA though. I think there's obviously favoritism in leagues, but I guess I kind of might be pulling for the Bucks for us to play them because again, that series might get kicked off a little early with you playing them 2 straight games and the Knicks too. But we'll see who they end up playing. Again, kind of new with the basketball thing. I'll kind of pay attention if I feel like making other videos before the playoffs start. I'll think about it. But at least the idea for playoff videos might come and be an overall series, just like I kind of do a series preview. Don't know if I'm going to have time to necessarily go game by game, especially because again, don't know much about basketball. Don't want how much insight I could give to that, but I might do some series previews on the Pistons if they make the playoffs. With all that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about everything about the Pistons. Maybe give me some knowledge. Anybody who does watch basketball out there about the Pistons themselves. And until next time, we'll see everybody soon.